with Matt out and Moses in. So Moses, Insolences, and Sizz. It should be an interesting matchup between these two. Rogue has kind of been in flux. We've seen a lot of roster changes happening with Rogue. And it'll be interesting to see what this concoction can give us here in this. This is losers now, which means you lose and that's it. You're out of the qualifiers. No bueno for you. And that's it.
Double elimination. You get 2 chances, and this is the last chance for both of these two teams. We saw Splyce a little bit earlier. Play the NRG squad pretty closely. That went all the way to 5 games. They played NRG closer than Equinox did. To put it that way, I suppose. So
no, they absolutely did. And early from Splyce, you saw those. They weren't able to get their passing down. They were slow to the ball. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication, just expecting something and then getting another thing. But later in the series, they were figuring it out. And seeing right here, it looks like some of this early pressure. We'll see how they contend against Rogue, which, you would say NRG is definitely the better squad than Rogue. So with Splyce a little bit less of a lesser team. I don't want to say a lesser team because that sounds like, I mean, Rogue is an RLCS caliber team, but Splyce, obviously NRG is a better squad. Just want to see how they stack up here.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the first goal, right, was 0-0. I think the key for Splyce, for both these teams, maybe just put everything out there, go after it, go for the crazy plays, just go as fast as you can, just play really quickly, because it's the first goal. It's literally the first moments of the series that you can come out of the gate swinging super hard, super strong. I think that could lead to some nice stuff. Sizz with the bump on Karma, actually, but Sathu is there, returning it back the other way. Relatively even. I don't think either team really has had a crazy advantage for 1 shot apiece. Pretty low scores overall, so very defensive play so far. So pretty even overall, and no goals yet. 2 minutes down, no goals. And I feel like in every game one we've seen so far, it's been like incredibly high scoring. So looks like both these teams warmed up, playing super solid, tight, playing safe, and it could go either way.
Yeah, for sure, and only 3 total shots on net, and we're seeing a lot of physical play coming out from both teams, and Nose God just missing this ball on the save opportunity. Moses coming up with this goal and putting Rogue in the early lead here.
That's exactly what they want. That first goal is so important, helping that momentum get started in the series, and for Splyce, you got to stay calm, just the first goal. Let's bring it back a little bit. Still plenty of time here, so you don't want to let it get out of control. I feel like that might have happened in the first game that they played there against NRG earlier, where they let a goal or 2 in, and then it just kind of got out of control. So I'd love to see Splyce stay calm here. They've had some good plays, some really good chances. Let's see if they can bring this back. But for now, Rogue on the board first, halfway through on this game. Nose dude off the backboard. Sathu trying to sneak it in down below, but Moses is there with the defense. But a lot of pressure being applied by Splyce here. Karma having trouble finding a good angle onto that ball, so she's going to back up, and Nose Jude is going to be on defense there to try to bring it back the other way. Sathu coming off the wall, passing it over to Karma, and that's actually really awkward. Really nice play there from Rogue, keeping it on, threatening, and Sizz going to carry that through into a goal, and that's going to start with a block from, was that
Moses bodied 2 defenders.
Demo,
said,
and then
catch these wheels.
Yeah,
that's basically what Moses said. Catch these wheels, Splyce. And nah, you can't. It's 2-0. It was, and the early offensive opportunities Splyce had was about as good as it could get for them. Karma trying to force it down for Sathu, and then Sathu putting it really the only place he could, and it just went bad for them there. Insolence is going to get a goal now, and all 3 members of Rogue picking up a goal early here against Splyce, and I mean, we saw this with Splyce against NRG in game 1. Things just fell off early for them, and then it just snowballed into an unwinnable game, and it took a couple of games for them to get in the swing of things, and maybe we're seeing the same thing here against Rogue.
Yeah, they're going to hope so, I suppose, but again, at this point, gotta, you don't want to let it really get out of hand. Oh my god, see, they're getting these opportunities that are so close. Nose dude almost sneaking in the top there. Karma almost scoring, and then Sathu coming through and almost scoring. Nose dude with another chance. Sathu with another chance. That's like 4 scoring opportunities in 10 seconds. Karma keeping it on the side. This has to result in the goal. Nose dude trying to sneak it in. Sathu hitting it back towards the middle, but the defense a little bit too good here for Rogue. What's their boost situation? 83 for Moses, trying to get it out of there. Karma trying to keep it on that orange side, but all those chances, none able to convert into a goal. That's got to feel a little bit tough there for this Splyce squad, but they just got to keep that pressure up. Eventually, one has to go in.
They're gonna need to in between games switch. They're gonna need to change the crossbar out on Rogue's side of the field because it's been absolutely bullied to. There's got to be about 1,000 dents in it. I mean, just so many shots hitting the crossbar.
Too.
Yeah. And if people wanted to know, if people had questions about, you know, they weren't sure how Moses was gonna fit on this Rogue roster. I think there's just a lot of questions around Moses and his play in general. And he's come up big in game 1. He's really a critical part of almost all 4 of these goals.
No.
And Sis just gets a free one here. I mean, it's goal city for Rogue.
What a save from Nose Dude, he says in the chat. Karma thought that he had it, but this is feeling a lot like game 1 earlier of Splyce against NRG. Where this game is kind of out of control. They're not going to come back from this one. I mean, that's a nice goal, but I'm sorry, you're not going to score 4 goals in 57 seconds. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry.
Hey, if there's anything I've ever learned in my life, Axel, it's never say never.
Well, I'm fully prepared.
Agree with you that it's unlikely. It's unlikely.
But it's not going to happen. I'm putting everything out there. I'm just saying it's not going to happen.
That's fine.
I think once again, this is back to, you know, calling it down. Maybe get another goal or 2 here would be amazing for Splyce. They've had so many opportunities. So they're playing some really good Rocket League, applying a lot of pressure. But Rogue just able to make those breakaways work. We're having some defensive lapses from the Splyce side of things. So I think overall they can feel okay about this. I mean, normally if you're down 1-5, you're like, all right, this is a disaster, get me out of here. But I think they've been playing okay overall. So hopefully their spirits aren't down too much because they've been playing some good Rocket League this game. It's just about converting those chances that they've had and just being a little bit tighter on the defensive side.
A lot of this comes down to communication issues for Splyce. You said it before, Nose Dude and Karma just kind of confused as to who's going to go up for a save when. And we saw earlier an offensive opportunity. Nose Dude off the backboard goes back to Karma. Karma looking for Nose Dude, but Nose Dude really wasn't in a position to take that pass. And just in those kind of situations, it's just effectively giving the ball up to Rogue. And so giving away free possessions is not what you need to do if you're Splyce. It just needs to be better decision making in game 2 from Splyce here as we move forward. But a big game from Moses in particular. He did a lot of work to get things set up. He had that wonderful body to set things up for the second goal of the game, and then it just snowballed from there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the score screen here. Not a lot going on for Karma, actually. And that's something that that is a little tough because she really showed up a lot in the first series that we saw today, where it was pretty much up to her, where she played well enough to pull Splyce even in that series against NRG. So I would like to see Karma kind of figure things out. I guess she couldn't really find her groove in that game, not really able to make much happen. We saw that one moment of miscommunication where Nose Dude just let the ball in pretty much, and Karma was kind of moving away thinking that he would hit it. So we'd like to see Karma kind of figure things out a little bit, you know, but that's how it goes sometimes in best of 5s, where you need a little bit of time to you know, find that groove. But I want to emphasize, I really think Splyce did play really well. Like, they were nearly even in shots, right? It's like 8 to, yeah, exactly even in shots. 8 to 8 on the shots. They had so many chances. It's just not able to finish it off. So I'd like to see Splyce keep up those chances, keep that aggression, but you got to finish off some of those goals.
Yeah, finish them off. And I mean, there was also a couple of just misplays. I mean, we had Nose Dude with a save that he should have had that just went right by him. And so I agree, you know, just be able to finish your opportunities and get right through. But losing 5-1, you can never say any team played the best that they could have in any situation, and Insolence is able to get that one away early in this game.
And we're already seeing the pressure here from Splyce, right? They're able to keep it on that side. Karma chilling in midfield, gonna send it back in. One of the team members there, Splyce, is gonna float back. We see Sathu there in the midfield waiting again, and Karma, there we go, able to be involved. That's what we were looking for. Karma being involved and able to finish off that opportunity. A lot of defensive errors there, I guess. A couple of players from Rogue just straight up missing, but Karma converting, and that's a 1-0 advantage for Splyce.
This came flying from the opposite corner. I guess thinking the ball was going to pop out a lot farther than it did, and he just ended up looking a little silly flying the whole way out there. That happens sometimes when you're trying to read from that side of the field. It can be hard to gauge where exactly that ball is from a depth perception, but that's huge for Splyce. For Splyce here. You got to set the tone like that, right? Scoring that first goal and not letting the early snowball affect you. And a good challenge by Karma keeps it away from Rogue here early in the game.
And I think that's a big key. Karma being involved. She was not that involved in the last game, but already within 30 seconds, boom, she's in it and scoring that first goal. So we'll have to see if Splyce can keep that up. There's a nice defensive play there from Karma, but possession belongs to Rogue effectively right now. Keeping that ball in the blue half. We'll have to see if Splyce can get the pressure going back in the other direction. Nose Dude, decent 50-50, keeping it over there, but Insolences is there on defense. Sathu up, hitting it towards that goal. Karma trying to deflect it. Oh my God, that was almost amazing. She actually let it go, but the defense was there. I think that was Sizz who was able to sneak in there and make that block. But the pressure is staying up here for Splyce. That's exactly what they need.
Yeah, and they're still working end to end here, just trying to choke out this Rogue defense. You can't win those boost battles. Those are crucial for these offensive opportunities. That shot just knocked away by Insolences before it even got close to the net. Still, they're going. A quick pass to Nose Dude, and then popped it up slow.
Good work.
Gonna play it under, and then saved again by Insolences. A great read, like you said. So the Rogue defense.
Karma, what are you doing?
Karma, please, coming up and Sathu the save. Woo, man. Again, goaltending. Rogue, big.
We're seeing the chances from Splyce. We're seeing them apply all this pressure. And it's kind of what we saw Equinox against NRG in the last series. A lot of pressure from one team, but just not able to convert the goals. That's a testament to the defense and honestly, just a lack of being able to finish the play. So Splyce has to be feeling good about how they're playing, but they definitely want a few more to go in.
Well, there's Sathu, the bus coming in. And this is exactly what we saw out of Splyce against NRG. You got smacked in game one, and you're going to smack them right back. Well, I guess it took 2 games for them to do it, but this time you come right back, and you need that confidence. You need that mindset. All right, we're good. It was just whatever game one was, it's over. And here we go. We're up 2-0 halfway through the game.
Yeah, definitely a shift in momentum, a shift in mentality here for Splyce, able to hold it together here. They have a 2-0 advantage, and now it's up to Rogue to make something happen. They've been on kind of their heels this whole game here, all this pressure from Splyce, so they got to figure out a way to break out of this pressure, get some small passing plays, make that happen on the defensive side to try to keep it on that blue side for a change. That was almost a score there from Insolences. Moses is there trying to follow that up. But just barely missing a little bit too high there for Insolences, hitting that crossbar that Splyce has been used to a lot during this series. There we see a demo from Nose Dude. Insolences staying aggressive on the blue side, trying to pass it to the front, but Nose Dude is there on defense, going back the other way. So a lot of back and forth here in the mid game as Rogue trying to convert a scoring opportunity to bring this back a little bit.
Splyce missing a couple of challenges, keeps the ball kind of locked in their zone. Finally, Karma finding Sathu maybe, but that's, again, not able to find the ball. I've seen Karma to Sathu, Nose Dude to Sathu, just not, it's not there. And again, just not able to connect with the ball. Maybe it's jitters. I mean, Sathu, he's been almost somewhat of a journeyman in sense that he's been trying to find a team where he feels comfortable with, trying to work in with a team. He's a great player. And so not a lot of consistent play time with the same team. Maybe is just causing a little bit of jitters trying to really play well with Karma and Nose Dude. And I think he's getting a little better as time goes on, but still some of these misses are really critical for Splyce. They're still up 2-0, but I mean, you're not going to win the series by consistently missing those.
Yeah, I think they definitely want to score here, but in the back of their minds, they're going to try to take a little bit longer doing everything that they're doing just to buy some time here. They're in a great position. Just got to hold it together here and prevent those opportunities from Rogue. But Sizz getting an opportunity. He's the ball on his own, floating it up. Karma's there in the back, hitting it on over to Nose Dude. It has to be pretty much right now for Rogue. They have to make a scoring opportunity happen, just barely missing. I think that was that Sizz flying through, or actually that was actually Moses almost getting a connect onto that ball towards that blue net, but not able to make it happen. We're out of time. 10 seconds. 2 goals needs to happen from Rogue, but I think Splyce might have this.
Yeah, Splyce definitely going to take game 2, and that's huge for them after, like I said, they got smacked. And they still got some things that I'd really like to see them clean up. I'd like to see these passes. I'd like to see them connect more. Just basically less whiffs. And that's really what it's been for Splyce, is just not able to make the connections, not able to, you said it best, finish. You got to be able to finish the play. You finish the series, and you're all tied up now. You just shut out a team that just scored 6 goals on
that's
you.
Huge.
So it's big.
That's pretty much exactly what you want from Splyce. If they can keep that up, they're in a good position. I think certainly a night and day situation with how Karma was playing in that first game wasn't really a big factor. But complete opposite situation here. Karma was a huge factor in that game. She was the MVP from that. 1 goal, 2 saves, 2 shots, where she, I think, only had 1 shot in the last game. So Karma stepping up huge, and Splyce overall able to finish, able to convert all of that pressure because they're playing really nicely, having a lot of pressure on that Rogue side, but finally able to convert a couple goals there. And also just the fact that they could shut out Rogue has to be huge for their confidence. Being able to tie those plays together in the offense is one thing, but then being able to really hold it together on the defensive side and let 0 goals in, that's got to be making them feel good too. So we got a series on our hands, ladies and gents. We are tied 1-1, Splyce versus Rogue. We're in the lower bracket. This is the last chance for both these teams in this qualifier to make a run. They have to win out from here all the way through to be able to qualify for Dreamhack Leipzig. And for now, we got a tie series 1-1. So this could surely go either way. I wouldn't have it any other way here. It's turning into an awesome series.
Not at all. And if Rogue, they want to get back into this, it's going to be on the back of Insolences. He found Moses in the center of the box. And it was saved by Nosedude, who's been playing super well. And how about the bus coming through off the pass from Karma? It's 1-0, 18 seconds in. That's how you start off game 3.
How do you read that? That was such a quick ball from Karma. And not only that, Sathu had to do he flipped forward as he was doing that, did a little side flip. So he had to not only predict where the ball was going, but tie in that prediction with the little kick he did at the end. So amazing play there from Sathu. What a read. And honestly, a really great pass from Karma to the middle there to make that happen. But now the pressure belongs to Rogue, trying to keep it on that blue side. Looks like Sizz getting bumped away, and now Splyce bringing it back the other direction. Karma with the flip reset there, a little bit of a mistake, but Sathu is there on defense. Nosedude trying to hit that up. That was a pretty decent opportunity. Sathu trying to finish it through. A little bit of awkwardness there from Rogue on the defensive side. Finally able to push it over to the right, but Karma's there, passing it to Insolences, and Splyce just keeping up the pressure here.
Sathu could have kept that in play, but just under Sizz, able to grab it again. Insolences has been the last 2 games, even though they did lose game 2, had kept Rogue in play. He's doing the same again. What a pass from Insolences to Sizz, who all he had to do was be there, and it was great placement as well. That's how you tie the game up, but right back down. As I'm talking about him, I love when that happens. That's great.
That was a great play all around. That's what you, if you're like, all right, I need to score, that's where you close your eyes, you meditate, and that's exactly what you're envisioning in your mind. Just perfect play there. Pass, and then honestly, the placement of that shot, lower left-hand corner, couldn't be any better. So Rogue bringing it back in a huge way. Tie game, 1-1, and a tie series. So turning into a really close series indeed. And now we're seeing Rogue applying a lot of pressure. Nosedude up on the wall there on the backboard, trying to bring it back the other way. Karma picking up some boost. See what she does with this. Going upside down a little bit, trying to pass it over to Sathu. He's keeping it in the middle of the field there. Now Nosedude gonna pass it forward. But so back and forth, I'm not seeing any clear dominance from either team here. It's not like anyone has more pressure going on. Shots are pretty much even, 2-2. So both these teams really even across the board. There's a demo from Insolences on a Sathu. Maybe we got to look out for more demos.
I mean, he got the demo, and then he wrapped around and threw the ball away from the possession of Splyce and gave it back here to Rogue. They're on their own end, but they clearly have control of this ball and looking to take control of game number 3. Look at that tip down right over to Moses. Just can't connect with him there. He's been the setup man, the Torment, if you will. When Torment's on C9, at least. On NRG, he's apparently the striker. But that's a nice shot by Nosedude, just a little out to the side. He's been playing really well for Splyce as well. Just haven't mentioned his name as much, but he has made some great saves and good clears out of the corners to kind of keep that ball out of harm's way. Both squads doing what they, I hate saying do what they need to, but they are doing what they need to defensively. Keeping it away, limiting the amount of shots on net. I mean, only 3 here for Rogue and 2 for Splyce so far.
Yeah, you know, slowing down a little bit in the sense of both these teams really tightening up their play. And we're seeing, it's pretty much what you see as series go along. And this is the best of 5. So lots of room to kind of flex everything out and get that chemistry going. And both these teams honestly playing some superb Rocket League. Really good on defense, both applying a lot of pressure, some awesome opportunities and awesome saves from both these sides. So truly this could go either way. Who's going to step up? Who's going to really make the big play? And maybe more importantly, who's going to make the mistake? Because maybe that's what has to happen here for these goals to start converting for either side.
And a lot of challenges up in the front. Nose Dude and Sathu trying to keep it in play. Karma getting back to that ball, and here we go, Rogue again. There's demos coming out, and Insolences with one, Sizz with one. I believe Moses had one earlier. Just trying to break up those rotations. And Splyce able to play defensively, get that ball out. With a minute left, Axeltoss, the way the game has been going, it's been slowed down a little bit. Not very quick.
I think safety. I think the key is safety here. You know, there's a moment in
situations, but yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a time in series where, you know, you're going crazy, you're just trying to make anything work, maybe in the early part of the series, but once it gets to this point where it's super even, super tight, lots of opportunities everywhere, you play a little bit safer. You just want to really make sure you're really tight on defense, not making any silly mistakes, because that's how close this game is, and that's how evenly matched these teams are. Some phenomenal defense for like a 30-second period there. Just phenomenal defense from Splyce, but ultimately the pressure way too much there, and Rogue able to just pummel the ball towards that goal time and time again, and finally able to convert there a goal from Moses. So they have a 2-1 advantage in this tie series. Remember, winning this game gets a 2-1 advantage in the series. So very important game. Every goal is so important. Rogue able to pull off a goal there.
Guess who threw that pass down to Moses? It was Insolences. He's been nutty for Rogue in this series, and I'm glad he's getting all of the assists to show for it in game number 3. Splyce with a couple of opportunities, but it could have been a dangerous spot, maybe over-rotating, a little aggressive. If you go for that 1-2-3 passing play, it can sometimes be you better score it or you just gave up a goal, but they can't get back to it. That's going to be it. Rogue taking game number 3 to match point, threatening to eliminate Splyce here from the North American qualifier for Dreamhack.
Yeah, what a series, and what a game that was. And looking at the stats here, Karma at the bottom again. It's kind of what we saw in game 1. Not really much happening there from Karma. So, you know, that had everything to do with Rogue just applying a lot of pressure, playing some great Rocket League, keeping that pressure up, and eventually converting that goal, just having the resilience where even if you're missing those shots, just keeping that ball on the opponent's side. And if you're doing that, it's usually going to work out. So Rogue doing a great job just having control that entire game, more or less. Very close game overall, though. Just a 2-1 advantage. Not much at all. 3-shot differential, 5-3 in favor of Rogue. So still, this could go either way, but Rogue has to be feeling good there. They have the 2-1 series advantage, which means Rogue is 1 win away from advancing on in the lower bracket. And Splyce has to come up with something here, or they're going to be out of these qualifiers.
We gotta find a way to get Insolences out of that prime position where he's just had free reign to pass the ball in Splyce's zone. There's rarely a time, like both of those goals that they scored were off of a very clean Insolence's pass, no one able to really go up and try to challenge it. And that's obviously dependent on 1,000 different things that happen, but they got to find a consistency in challenging the ball in their own zone, whether it be controlling the boost in their own end and being able to read the ball quicker. We know that's something that they have struggled with in past games, not necessarily in this series, just kind of losing out to really great team play and great passes from Insolences in general. And I spoke a lot about him, and we talked about Moses in game 1 because he kind of popped off, but Moses has fit so well in getting that midfield set up for Insolences, whether he be taking it back or giving it off to Sizz. But 30 seconds in and already getting physical again, we've seen Rogue go for that.
Okay, no super early goals here. As we pass 30 seconds in this game, it's a must-win situation for Splyce. Their tournament lives are on the line. Can Karma get more involved? What a chip there to the front. Banging it off the floor, and then that should have been a goal. Sathu barely missing on the right-hand side. Karma trying to keep it on that orange side. Nose Dude is there to try to pitch it forward a little bit more. Going off Insolences. Sathu in a pretty good position here to handle this. And I feel like Rogue, a little bit of a tight spot. 3 of their players in one corner, certainly a couple players lacking boost. And as of right now, Splyce is the team keeping up that pressure.
Nose Dude gave a pass to Karma. Karma a little too far up, not able to really get a solid shot opportunity on net, but back to where Sathu was. You got to take those. You don't get those every day, and that shot needs to be on target.
Yep.
It's just been the post and the crossbar for Splyce all series long.
Yeah, you got to convert those shots, especially in such an important tournament as this. Tournament lives on the line, a trip to Germany at stake. So still 0-0 though, so still plenty of time to work with. Splyce doing a lot of good things, applying a lot of pressure throughout this game so far, trying to finish off those opportunities. Sizz on defense, pitching it over to Insolences. He's going to push it over to the right-hand side. Nose Dude there on defense, making solid connection, trying to bring it back the other way. Sathu there as well. And Karma, could this be an opportunity? Getting it past one. Insolences not able to get it past them, but no sweeper there. Sathu trying to be in a good position. But again, I feel like Splyce having a good amount of opportunities here to score, just not really able to finish it off.
Well, Splyce was in like a very spread out rotation there, and Nose Dude and Sathu both wide on the wing to Karma.
Yeah.
No one really back.
Oh my God.
Sathu,
you have to score those, man. Those are open nets.
Second missed opportunity for Splyce. You got to take those, and it has to feel bad if you're Splyce knowing you have these and you can't. Again, Axeltoss, like you said, not able to finish on these opportunities.
Yeah, you gotta. Oh man, those are. I really feel like those are two wide open nets there. And Sathu missing out. It's got to be a little bit tough, but you know, Splyce and Comms got to stay calm. They're applying good pressure. Just got to keep up those opportunities. Meanwhile, Rogue really trying to turn things around here. It's been on their side pretty much the entire time, so trying to get some momentum going on their end. Insolences with a great pass over to Sizz.
What a
Sathu
save.
is there on the defense. Great positioning there for him. Also an incredible read. And now looks like Splyce is going to bring it back the other way. Can they convert an opportunity here?
Oh, scrum. Can Nose Dude find that one? Oh man, Splyce. It looked like they might have been able to rumble through from Sathu. He does take that pass. And Splyce, all they can really do is reset and wait for that boomer and try again. Sizz just missing that connection. Rogue has been dominating this game. I mean, it's been, I guess I can't say dominating. It's more so just Splyce kind of losing it, even though it's still 0-0. They haven't given up a goal yet, but they essentially have. I mean, three opportunities you had from Karma and then two from Sathu that should have been goals. So for Rogue, you got to take advantage of this. They're missing opportunities. You got to be able to get downfield, close this series out, and move on.
Nice demo there onto Karma. Sathu and Nose Dude trying to make an opportunity happen. Nose Dude up on the backboard, trying to pitch it over to Karma, just barely missing wide again. Moses, a big reason that defensive play worked out, and now Rogue going to bring it back the other way, trying to float it on towards the middle. Sathu there on defense. But yeah, super back and forth, and such a tight game. We're still not a single goal in this game. Both these teams realizing how important this is, playing some super solid defense. And again, could still go either way, as honestly, I feel like possession is relatively even in this game so far. 4 shots to 3 in favor of Splyce, but now the aggression belongs to Rogue. Just barely hitting that crossbar, not able to make it through. Sathu's out of boost. He's like, someone help me. I think Karma's out of boost too. I think everyone's out of boost.
Everyone is out of boost. That shot's in. Sathu couldn't get there. Insolences whiffed on another one earlier. Gets this one right back, and with 20 seconds left, a very low shot game, a very low scoring game. This might be the only goal that happens, and it might do it.
Okay, Splyce has 20 seconds to figure it out. 20 seconds to come up with a goal to stay alive in these qualifiers for Dreamhack Leipzig in the North America region. Karma and Nose Dude colliding in air effectively. Sathu completely missing. Mose is going to come forward and hit it towards the blue side. It has to happen right now. Karma to Nose Dude. Can he get it across the field? Hitting it over Moses, but Sizz is in the corner waiting, hitting it up. Is anyone there to meet it? Sathu is, but is it going to drop down? Yes, it will. And Splyce will be out of the North America qualifiers. Rogue stays alive in the lower bracket, but such a close series. It felt like it got closer as the game went along, but you gotta be thinking, Splyce has to be wondering, like, how much did they leave behind there? Because Sathu, I really feel like, yeah, I really feel like Sathu had 2 shots that were pretty open nets, but just barely missing to the side. It's got to be tough, especially in a game that ended up coming down to a single goal. So huge congrats to Rogue, staying alive in the lower bracket, but certainly a little tough there for Splyce.
I like Moses on this team. I like what I saw out of Moses, and they're going to go on to face the dudes, and we saw the dudes earlier. against Equinox, and they did not look bad. They looked good, so I do not think that it's going to be an easy matchup for Rogue moving forward. But Moses looked good, and Insolence is kind of the centerpiece in this Rogue squad, and Moses has been a great compliment to him, at least from what we saw. So I'm really interested to see how they do moving forward. Kind of one of the more the big question mark teams, I think, right now in the competitive scene. For Splyce, again, this is only their second tournament ever playing together. And I think just a little more time, a little more communication, and it comes down to technical mistakes. And technical mistakes and field awareness as far as like your team relative to the other. I think if they get those things settled out and get the communications issue down, you'd see a solid team out of Splyce. But today just did not have it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. I feel like Splyce, they had the opportunities. They're a good team. They went all the way to 5 games against NRG, who qualified in a second over Equinox. So Splyce, they have a lot of things going for them. So they just got to keep it together, keep the volume going on the practice, and I think they can turn into a great team because they're showing some great Rocket League. But Splyce out of the North American qualifiers. Rogue going to move on. We're going to move on as well. We're going to take a short break. Jorby, thanks for hanging out, man. We're actually saying see you to you. But anything you want to say at all before we sign you off here?
Yeah, someone way better than me in the form of Lawler is going to take over, so everyone can take a sigh of relief as I bow out. Thanks for having me on. It was great to be able to cast with you, Axeltoss. I really enjoyed that. That was fun.
Hey, cool, dude. I mean, I don't cast too much. Usually I'm the guy on the desk, but thanks for coming on and helping me out here and talking with me about these games. Of course, you guys can check out Jorby doing a lot of RLRS involved in the NBC tournament. You're casting a bunch of stuff in the Rocket League scene, so certainly looking forward to seeing more stuff from you. We're gonna say see you later to Jorby, and Lawler is gonna be joining the stream. Can we see some hype in the chat for Lawler? Lawler's going to be coming up next as we continue with the lower bracket of the Dreamhack qualifiers. Jorby, thanks for being here. We're going to take a short break from twitch.tv/Axeltoss. You're watching the Dreamhack North America qualifiers. We're finishing out the lower bracket next. Stay tuned.